intelligence. When it comes to online learning, I don't think we have a personal touch or a personal feel to emotions attached to online learning. To a story. This is actually, I thought of beginning with the story. I forgot about it. It's Isaac. You must have heard of it. It's Isaac Asimov's The Fun They Had. It was written sometime in probably 18th century, where no one knew about this existence of computers or a period called COVID, where we would be shut down in our houses. But Asimov wrote this some hundred and it's more than 100 years. It's about traditional way of learning. You must read the story. It's a very short story. It's about online classes where the child go and sit before a big screen with lots of buttons, and the teacher would appear on the screen, and he or she will give the homework. The student has to input, sort of paper like in a printer like machine, and that's how like what we do now. Um, Isaac Asimov is a scientific writer. He's known for his scientific fiction and all those imaginations which did not even exist during his period. But he gave us the concept of online learning much earlier, much before. He predicted such that such a day would come where students would sit before machines the traditional classrooms, where every kid will come together at one for school. They would enjoy learning. They would have fun. We had annual day celebration, children day celebration. We had things as a part of personal touch in a traditional classroom. That was so fun, right? We learn about freedom only when we are a slave. The same thing we learn about we look up to our traditional classroom only when we know that online classes are boring or online classes are really hard to take. So that's the biggest disadvantages of online classroom. Humane part or the empathy and sympathy which only humans can afford. Because you must have seen in classrooms when one of the students yells, the teacher will understand that, okay, the class is boring, and she tried to give you a story, right? The same way but in online class, nobody knows, uh, nobody knows who is nobody knows who is young or who is sleeping. I could see everyone has switched off your camera. I don't even know whether you are listening to me or really sleeping or doing some other work. This is the disadvantages of online class, right? This is the call it lack of personal interaction, and we depend much on technology. The personal interaction, between you and me, between the teacher and the learner, the touch, the feel, all these things are absent in online learning. Humans need these the most in order to stay human. Uh, Unless we don't know the sufferings of fellow human beings, either a boring class or a child who's really suffering from some sort of ailment, we know that human part of it, and that's lacking in online education, in not technology-based education, and the lack of personal interaction, and uh, limited exposure to authentic language. This is a very technical part of online learning. Authentic language, we work with artificial intelligence, we watch pre-recorded videos, and rarely we go for live interactions. We deal with pre-framed exercises, and we compose. I don't think in many of them Any of the online learning facility which is afforded in foreign universities, the teacher won't be meeting you live. You will be interacting with the teachers through forums. Forums are places where you get to interact with fellow classmates. You post a question and someone will answer, someone will like you, like what you do in Instagram and Facebook. Uh, Authentic language use comes only when you interact live. When only when you interact face to face. When you go to supermarket, you talk to them. You buy and you go to a market, you bargain. That's when you put the language in use, and not when you're doing things technically or through online modes. That's one of the limited. That's one of the disadvantages where where we have limited exposure to the authentic use of languages. And technology dependency. Uh, of course, we do have Google Meet. I have this headphones plugged into my ears. I'm dependent on my network for connectivity, and I speak now. Uh, some of you might hear what I'm speaking like fully. You'd be able to hear fluently. Others will have my voice choppy, right? I cannot do anything about it because we depend on technology for connectivity. And if technology does something wrong, and that's a suffering, we are not a developed country where we have 5G connectivity to every part of the country. And this makes our connection, this makes our interaction a bit choppy. And not everyone has the advantage of network connectivity where you can hear as if you are talking to the person live, face to face. So there are some other disadvantages as the three most, what do you say, most rated disadvantage. First is the lack of personal interaction. And second is the limited exposure to authentic language. And third is the dependence on technology. So, so this is it, guys. Technology is both a boon as well as bane. We have some advantages and we have some disadvantages. As discussed by the researchers throughout India and throughout the world, we cannot go completely online. Probably after 100 years, we might do so, but for the present, but in order to stay humane and in order to give access to the people all around the world, even the remotest place, we have to go hybrid. Like we can use the positives of technology, positives of digital learning, where we can make the students, make the children learn something or watch something online, which should be an added advantage that we are taking. But apart from going completely online, it's mere waste of time because of lack of technology and because of lack of interaction between student and the teacher. I hope this serves well the conference title. Thank you, guys.
Wow, wonderful, ma'am, wonderful. You added colors to this occasion. Indeed, all the points you put forth was really thought-provoking, ma'am. Thank you so much. And everyone, I hope this is the right time to tell you all about our predominant chief guest. And to start with, there is a saying that goes, actions speak louder than words. And this is certainly true of our predominant guest, Dr. C. Ramalakshmi, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. The proverb seems to be accurate. All along with the young experience you encounter every day, you inspire us, ma'am. We are fortunate to have you at our side on this wonderful morning, supporting us fully. Our honorable chief guest is online right now and she is from Kerala. At St. Teresa's College in Ernakulam, she is currently the head of the Communicative English department. your excellent job, your teaching abilities, or your wonderful band. You worked as a spell and gave everyone new, revised inspiration for success and brightened their days and lives, ma'am. We respect your pure heart and spirit for helping those in need, and in addition to your excellent teaching. It inspires us to be the best version of ourselves every single day by fostering our outstanding humanitarian qualities. We are growing increasingly eager and interested to begin the procedure. We are really appreciative of your magnificent presence. Thank you is not enough, but we are at a loss for words to adequately convey our appreciations for your noble presence among us. And everyone, so it is time to throw questions and begin the hunt for answers. Now, all the participants can use the raise hand option that is just below your video window so that I will call out your names and make sure with a clear passing of questions with one another. Yes, we can start.
Is before that, ma'am, and you might handle class in the COVID, post-COVID and COVID situation, right? So, what is the major challenges you might found during this online classes?
That one which we are facing now. Students won't switch on their cameras, and we don't even know how many of them are listening or how many of them are doing other jobs. Even after repeated saying, no, nobody will. I don't think they are listening, and that's why they have switched off their cameras. It's one of the biggest challenge.
Okay, ma'am. Is anybody would like to ask any questions? Maybe if you can clarify your jobs.
Yes,
Anybody?
yes, ma'am, I'm here. Can I? Yes, ma'am. And you conveyed us, ma'am, that the online way of teaching is both the good and bad. And here I have a very simple question for you that I want you to describe this thing that is the online teaching in just only three words.
Three words:
Yes, ma'am.
inspire my ideas from my uh, what do you call my space to learn or my time for learning is at like I learn every day. I learn at no the spark comes anywhere. I want to know something. I just immediately go Google it, right? Uh, so a discovery, inspiring and discovery creative.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you.
Discovering, I learn it that way. Mm.
Yes, yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Soumya would like to ask any questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
dear. Just ask.
can you just sum up by saying whether the online class served only the positive or negative? Please, ma'am, we know you like both, but we need a proper answer whether it is positive or negative. Because in every aspect we undergo like pros and cons, but only when it comes to this platform we need to know whether it serves like more according to your perspective of you experience.
Um, See, there is no one size fit all situation when it comes to technology because we have different economic situations. We are in different places with different range of network connectivity. For a person who is residing in a scenario, city, metros, I think it good. But when it comes to places which does not even have access to a single computer, I don't say it's good.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Anybody?
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody would like to share your ideas or ask any questions? Anybody? Okay. Okay, ma'am. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Yes, if you want to share your ideas, you can share it towards us. Like Soumya, if anybody want to ask any questions to clarify your doubt, you can. Anybody? Anybody's willing to? No. Okay. Okay, let us move on to the next slide. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. So, ma'am, I request you to share some of your views with us right now on this conference and on this emerging topic. Ma'am, please.
Yes, yes, dear. Okay, and today's topic is language, a teaching, a learning is a boon or bad. Okay, so let us have the interaction sections here. Okay, yes, I need everyone to participate. I need everyone to speak aloud. Okay, about, according to your experience and just experience. Yes, anybody? Just speak out. By the way, it will get a good exposure to us. Okay. Yes, anybody would like to share your ideas? Just maybe everybody has everyone's opinion, okay, just regarding that's how you have faced in the online classes during attending a classes and take the classes to the students. So if everybody would like to share yours. Akshaya, Likita, Soumya, Amrita. Maybe after the sessions, after the instruction session is over, and let us move on to the presentation part. Okay? Anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, very good. Yes,
Ma'am,
dear.
like basically, I would like to say my own experience. I think
Very good,
I
excellent.
hadn't had like positive effects. Being a student for around 1.5 years. We had online class, and
Yes,
that too in senior secondary education. We
okay,
lost personal communication with our
very good,
parents,
very
and
good.
we supposed to sit like for a whole day, so we
Okay.
we may not be so active enough now, like the physically, ma'am, and
Mhm.
like the everyday we undergo the lethargic manner. Every day we can't just work out or the way we were at school, and we lost almost the face-to-face communication even with our
Absolutely.
family. Everything we went through, depression, anxiety,
Very
all
good.
the all these, ma'am, I think around 1.5 years. Yeah.
Yes. So just Soumya, just tell me from your point of view. So what could be the remedies we can found to sort out all those problems? Could you please tell me, dear? Because here the online classes is mandatory. Everybody might know that, all right? Because according to the year is modernized, and we are expecting to everything to be modernized in our situation also. So even education part also we have to move on to likewise. So here nowadays the online classes are mandatory, and we are facing everybody has facing the same issues. Okay, nobody can has the face-to-face instructions and like so on. So what could be the remedies from your point of view we can sort it out?
I think we can limit the time structure, ma'am, in order to represent like the whole day as a
Okay,
school schedule. We can limit
okay,
around 2 to 3 hours, and we can undergo like every day, but not like so long. There's a difference in face to face and an online class. And
very good,
similarly,
very good.
we should not
Remedy.
push the child into like do this or that. Once if you limit everything, once if we understand the psychologically of an individual, once even now, like ma'am said, like why don't we turn on videos? Ma'am, like
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
not in a position to turn on, so that's why. So yeah, we can limit there would be a reason behind everyone. So I think we must understand it. I think there's a major disadvantage in online class, but there must not be a compulsion for students to just turn on videos, ma'am. And but yeah, we try to expose our views in
Very good.
voice. Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, excellent, excellent,
That's
Soumya. Really, it's
that's
amazing point from yours. Really. Yes, anything to share here, Soumya?
no, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Very good. Yes. What she's trying to tell us is we have to limit it. Okay. Because in schools and colleges, they're scheduling for the whole day. Okay. They might feel monotonous to sit in the same place and listen to the teachers talk. And by the way, nowadays teachers are engaging with some interesting activities. By the way, but as well, if you limit it, for example, if the class is for the 2 hours and 1.5 hours, we can limit it for the 1 hour. By the way, her point of speaking. By the way, if it has happened, it may not feel the monotonous to everyone. And by the way, it might be interested to join and attend it. Am I right? Good, good. Very good, Soumya. Appreciating. Yes. Anybody? Yes, very good. Like Soumya, anybody would like to share? Akshaya. Yes,
Good
dear. Yes.
morning, ma'am. Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Yes, ma'am. So I would like to tell that this online digital platform was a completely positive side when I was able, I mean, when I was doing my education, because
Very
during
good.
the pandemic, I could see that teachers took so much of efforts to bring out this online as a traditional way of teaching, because
Good, good.
there is no face-to-face interaction, nothing, but they took so much of efforts like preparing worksheets, games, and all, so that it was a fun learning method. They made us feel comfortable even though it was an online platform.
Good,
And
good.
it also gave us so much of insights, like we were lacking connections. They were understanding also, though they said such on your videos and other things, but other ways, somewhere or the other, they were like, yeah, we can cope with it, we all can do it together. So they gave us an hope in spite of those worst situations, and they
Very
made
good.
sure that this sort of education, I mean, the education never lags behind. Come what may be, we can do it if we are able to. They gave us that surety, and that was only possible through the means of teachers. So I would like to appreciate. It's not about appreciation, but I feel that there's a must to tell about teachers in this way.
Very good, Akshay. Very good. Really, I'm happy with you sharing the ideas. It's really excellent one, and we can empathize because as a teacher, like even I can understand because we are making some effort to the student to make them to participate in the events. Okay, for example, we have to engage some activities, so we have to plan because the students they will listen towards it in our home during the COVID and the online situation, and we will plan according to it. So, what are the games we can do it, and we will spend our own time to make the students engage in online classes. Really, it's appreciative. Really good, dear. Super.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm, amazing, dear. Yes, anybody would like to share your ideas? Likita, Amrita, anybody? Anybody? Harini, just share your ideas. Let us have the interaction sessions here, dear. By the way, we can, yes. Jayalakshmi, yes, good. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I have a perspective of online education. I personally think online
Okay.
education is totally a boon to those who are responsible themselves. Like,
Okay.
adults, like university students, they have a personal responsibility. They are committed to learning. They know they have to learn. Again, they are committed to learning, and in that way, online education, this digital media serves real good. But the same
Good.
online education looks like abuse when it comes to kids.
Yes.
I see this as that. I don't even know why, but when maybe for kids, we have to change the system. We have to, in the content, we have to show some changes. But the same, you can't teach to a kid just like you teach to an adult through online mode of education.
Good, good, good. Very good. Very good. Is there anything to share, Jaya?
No, ma'am, that is it. Thank you.
Yes, very good, very good, very good. Really, yes, most of us point of view is dealing with the technology and attending the online classes and education to the online is good because nowadays we are experiencing this kind of things because there is no any transportation charges that will be there. So much of the things we can get consumed likewise. By the way, yes, really, Jayalakshmi, your point is really amazing. Anybody would like to share your ideas? Just share your ideas. Just share your opinion and what is your experience that you have come across during your studies or taking the online classes to your students or friends? Anybody? Yes? Your valuable response, your valuable instructions will be recorded and it will be helpful for so many students out there. Yes. Anybody? Even Harya can ask, share your ideas. Anything want to discuss? Anything want to share as a teacher?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Okay.
So to begin with, this is really an amazing trend and kind of a topic to be spoken by everyone nowadays because it's really important. So from the students' point of view, I say that in some universities they push the children to attend the online classes for so much of hours. So my kind suggestion or my opinion is we can just give them any maximum of 4 classes, and apart from that, we should not push them because, as we all know, the concentration, the interest, everything is lagging when it comes to the online class. So we should not push the children to attend so much of classes. And apart from that, we can handle them by giving any offline activities like make them write, make them do some drawing, do some activities, give them with worksheets to work upon, and we can make them interested in such a way. So my first opinion is we should not push the children to be idle in front of any devices. And from the student's point of view, sorry, from the teacher's point of view, I say that a teacher must not be complaining about the student because as I have got so many complaints while attending the online class, I suggest all the teachers to be kind of what can I say? How to express? To be very friendly. Like it should not appeal to the student as we are pushing. So in such a way, we all should make the children concentrated as well as so much of interest towards the class. So that's
Good,
my
good,
opinion. Thank you.
good, good. Yes, I would like to ask Sanjan Ganapati. Sanjan, would you like to share your ideas, dear? Sanjan?
Yes, ma'am. So I was actually I wanted to say about the I
Okay.
was actually my thing was about it's okay to have online class until or
Okay.
unless the psychology of the society is changed. For
Oh,
example, when internet got publicized in the late 90s. So when it got publicized, they said that it would be speedy communication. So the speedy communication became a very absurd thing till now, until now. So people started to think that you should be communicated very easily, and also the thing you want to communicate should be communicated very fast and through direct perspective. So for example, if a person is busy with something else, so if a person is busy with his own family issues and all, he could not communicate
hello, Sanjan. Hello, hello, Sanjan Ganapati. Sorry, Sergeant, right? Sorry, Sergeant Ganapati. Sergeant, it is not audible. Okay, really, this is come across so many ideas, am I right? Really, this lot of
hello.
listening towards it. Yes, 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 dear, just share it to us. Yes, Sergeant.
I'm sorry, I just got disconnected.
No,
Yeah,
no,
so
no issue.
I was actually telling about the difficulties we face. So while we are, in a situation like that, and we have to share our information, it becomes a delay. A very, not just a delay. It becomes a very difficult way to transfer our information. But when the internet came, the opposite person thinks that you just have to spend a 2 seconds or 3 seconds time to, reply the information and all. So this psychological setup is the cause of the troubles we have while in the education. So for example, if a student is in an online class and he's seriously reading, or he's seriously taking notes of the teachers, so while at that time you get a WhatsApp message or a Facebook message or Instagram message, so you tend to look at it because you fear that the opposite person will think that he will think that you're online, you're not replying,
Okay,
why aren't you replying back, like that he will be thinking. So this thing starts the distraction of a student. So
excellent.
this is the part of a main cause for the distractions. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Very good, Sergeant. Really, I will accept the same thing. Because whenever we are teaching it, the students are very, it seems like they're listening towards us. By the way, they will not in the classroom, they will be in some other platforms or texting to their friends or listening to reels also, they will look into it. Okay, this kind of distraction. So here I'm not trying to find a fault in the listeners. This is a scenario that we are experiencing. Am I right? Even for the teachers also, though they handle the classes, they will get some notifications of the apps is getting into it in their mobile phones, right? So they will distracted, so they will miss some points also whenever they are teaching to the students. Very good, Sergeant. Really, it's amazing point. Really good. Anybody would like to share your idea? Just let us know the instruction sections here. Very good. Yes, I would like to appreciate Soumya, Akshaya, Sajan, Jayalakshmi for sharing their ideas. Really, it is appreciative and it's extraordinary. Yes, anybody? Likita, just share your opinions, dear. Okay, let us for the interaction sections. Okay, and first of all, to tell about my opinion about whether the online learning digital to it is a boon or ban, I will say it is a ban because we are having only we couldn't find any emotional difference between one to another because we are sitting in our home and we don't have the face-to-face instructions. Anything we don't have. Only we can get the only thing is we will have a proper education to the online. That's the only thing we can find. And as well as education can move around, though it's a pandemic situation, and we can learn it. Am I right? This is the only thing. There will not be any lagness on the learning part. This is the only thing we can get it. And apart from that, and the students, they will not get any learn about the disciplines. Am I right? If they come to a school or colleges to the any institutions, and they may get to know so how to deal with the disciplines. Okay, how to make manage the some of the peoples and all. And they will not get any emotional connectivity between students and the teachers. They will not get anything towards it. It is kind of the missionary the thing they will get as relationship to get along with the teachers and the students whenever they're learning it. Am I right? Because there will be connectivity, there will be the emotional thing when it is comes under the teacher and the students relationship. Okay, it is kind of missed out. And as well as the friendliness. Okay, so there are so many boundaries, there are so many things, the emotional, the psychological factors. So how to behave to the other students or other people. Okay, how they will not feel alienated, the loneliness when they are with the students in the classrooms they're dealing with. They will feel they can learn the ups and downs of the relationship when to the acquaintance or to the friends also. But those things are not comes into the online things. Everybody will say, okay, we will texting towards the people, but they will say, but it will not be worthy because they might text you in a different way and they might deal or feel the different way. Okay, only the face-to-face instructions we might feel. So apart from the learning part, and we couldn't find it is also the kind of the manner learnings, the mannerisms, it's kind of learnings also when we're dealing with other people. So this is the hurdles we can find whenever and we are in the online thing. So according to me as a teacher, and I will say, and it is not a boon. Yes, it is a boon for only for the learning and teaching part, but apart from that, when it comes to the mannerism education or and when other type of education, the emotional part, I couldn't say it is a good one. It is a bad. Okay. Yes. Anybody would like to share your ideas? Anybody? Shall we move on? Shall we move on to the presentation part? Yes. Okay. Yes. Hari, just move on.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, everyone. We can move on to the next part, that is the presentation part. So I would like to begin with a quote which I really admire of Gandhi. That is, he said, that you must be the change you wish to see in this world. Yes, we all must agree that we must be the change to make a very tremendous change in this world. So I hope all of you are ready with your presentation now. We are electrified to watch you all performing significantly. You are given with only 2 minutes time to present your paper completely. So, first of all, I would like to call upon Miss Likita and Miss Inia to present their seminar. Yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
Likita.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning to all.
Good morning.
So today I'm going to present my paper. I have done my paper on the topic digital learning versus traditional learning through an empirical method. So I'm going to do my presentation.
A small instruction, dear. Could you please switch on the video? By the way, it is kind of a good interactions. Good, good. Great. Yes, go ahead, dear. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So we have done the paper on the topic digital learning and traditional learning. through a comparative study of empirical method. So in this paper, we have discussed the topics, the methodology we have used for doing this paper, and the different types of learning: traditional learning, digital learning, and the survey, and the benefits and the drawbacks of traditional learning and digital learning. So, so the methodology we have used to do this paper is a survey. So we have collected the data from different people using a questionnaire, and we have done this paper. So, using this survey, we have tried to generalize the topic, and it is a cost-effective process to conduct a survey, and it's flexible. We can conduct a survey using mail, email, or online methods, and so we have used the 5 basic principles. We have focused on the topic. We have connected to different various people from different parts of different places, and we have tried to engage them. So first, talking about the traditional learning, it is a chalk and talk method, and it mainly takes place in classrooms. And in traditional method, it is a teacher-centric method. So in traditional learning, we can see that only the teacher is the source of a language, source of knowledge, and the students mostly they may not interact in the class. Only the teacher used to talk, and she used to give a lecture, and she just used to go. So this may affect the interactive from rote learning to interactive methods. And in traditional learning, one of the main benefit we can have is that we can check on the students, their behavior, and their interactiveness in the class. So in digital learning, after the pandemic, we have learned through digital learning. We can see that in digital learning, the teacher only act as the guide. So here the teacher doesn't, she is not only the source of knowledge. We can get information from Google or any other internet basis. But in internet learning or digital learning, we can see that the teacher is only a guide, and the books which we use in before pandemic is now replaced by electronic materials, and the knowledge can be shared anywhere and anytime. There is no specific need that we have to go to the classroom and there only we can share the knowledge. In digital learning, we can share the knowledge anywhere and anytime, and it motivates the students to complete challenging tasks, and it makes the students responsible for their own learning. No one is going to push them to sit and learn for a continuous time. So it's completely on the students how they are learning and their learning styles. Okay. So in this survey, first we have conducted a survey, and for that survey we have conducted students, teachers, and many other professionals have participated in a survey. So preference. The second one is the preference of online and offline classes. So according to the survey, we have seen that many of the people prefer offline classes rather than online. So many say that online learning is not effective. Either it has its own boon and ban. Many say that the online learning is less effective than offline learning. So we can see that in this chart, we can see that we have rated using scale, 5-pointer scale. We have used a 5-pointer scale, and we can see that many have voted that it is quite effective, but it's not completely effective, and it cannot be reached to everyone as it has its own bans and boons. So 96% of the people say that offline learning is more effective than online learning. So this is the 5-point rating scale we have given to them. So very less people say that traditional learning is ineffective. Many say that it's highly effective. So the benefits of digital learning. So in digital learning, we can say that it's efficient. So digital learning offers teachers an efficient way to deliver lesson to the students through online videos, PDFs, podcasts, and other materials, and it's accessible of time and place. So digital learning or online learning enables the students to access materials from any place and any time. It is not restricted to any geographical location. Then it is affordable. So in digital learning, the cost of transportation, meals, and residence, these are reduced, and it suits variety of learning styles. So every student have their own style of learning. The digital learning enables the students to learn in their comfortable environment with its range of options and resources. So as we know that each and everything has its own drawbacks and benefits. So some drawbacks of digital learning are inability to focus on screens. So the students cannot focus on their screens for a long time. If a student have classes from till morning to evening, so he won't be able to focus on screens. So and they can easily get distracted by social media and other sites. So we have to make the classrooms more engaging and interactive to make the students focused. And we also face many technical issues in our digital learning. So it can be either connectivity of internet or a remote location where we can't, where there is no internet access, that students will not be able to connect in the class. Then the digital learning creates a sense of isolation. So students will not be able to interact with each other face to face. So this results in a sense of isolation. Although we can talk through text messages, emails, or during chats, but the direct interaction which we feel, that emotional connectivity is lost. Then the teacher training. So for digital learning, even the teachers have to get trained for making use of these digital materials. So this requires the teacher to be trained effectively before getting into digital learning. So the benefits of digital learning. So it allows in-person learning. So the teacher and students can interact and build up their lively classrooms. Then it values and discipline. So in traditional learning, the teacher ensures the moral development of the students by giving them value education in the classroom. So social skills. In traditional learning, the social interaction of the students in the classroom allows them to develop their social skills and develop their social skills. So it's physical and mental health. The traditional learning strikes the balance between physical and mental health well-being with the help of appropriate activities and interaction with the peer group and teachers. Then it is an experiential learning. So it allows the students to experience, analyze, apply their knowledge in day-to-day world, and they can improve their learning. So the drawbacks of this traditional learning are it's time bound. So in traditional learning, we have a schedule from either it can be 9 to 4. So it is only restricted to that period of time, and the students cannot be able to interact with the teacher after that in traditional learning. Then it's high cost. As we all know that the classroom setting requires with proper infrastructure and maintenance. This is very high cost. It is of high cost. Then generic methodologies. So in traditional learning, the teachers use methods that are teacher centric but not learner centric. So this makes the learners passive. Theory based lessons. In traditional learning, majorly includes theory based classes and less activity based classes due to lack of proper time and infrastructure. Then physical presence of the teacher and learner. So in traditional learning, it is compulsory for both the students and teachers to be present in the class. If a student is on leave for a single day, he may miss the class and the topic may get omitted. So these are the drawbacks of traditional learning. So in the conclusion, and the survey we have conducted, many of the students and teachers prefer blended learning environment so that the teacher can make use of technology, and in the traditional classroom the teachers can teach the students and they can provide materials through GCR classrooms or any other online methods, and the students can also be easily access the online materials from anywhere and they can improve their learning. Thank you.
Very good, dear. It is really amazing one. Really, I appreciate your hard work that you have presented in a great way. And I have a simple question for you here. Okay, you might tell me that teachers has replaced their real notebooks and it will be comes to a digital notebook. Am I right? So what could be the advantage and disadvantage of the digital book? Can you please tell me?
Yeah. So nowadays the books have been replaced by the online materials. By this, we can have a benefit of that. The students can be able to access from anywhere. We can't carry books everywhere, right? So mobile phones
Okay,
will be carrying it everywhere, and they can make use of
good,
it
good.
even during travel time or anywhere. So, but
Okay,
if the books have been replaced, the students may make loss of their creative writing style. They may,
very good, very good.
yeah, their creativity will be gone, and they won't spend more time on writing. So
Very
this
good.
may affect their writing style.
Very good, sweetie. Very good, Likita. Really amazing point. That's what I just trying to convey. Okay, when it is replaced, the readings are the best habit. Am I right? There's so many authors and poets because as a literary student, you might know how many poets and authors. They might went through so many literary books, good books. So we might not to feel the good feeling of reading the books in a good way. Okay, it might be omitted by the students when they are going towards the digital book or digital the material then they're getting into it. Very good, Likita. Very good presentation. Good, keep it up.
Thank
Next.
you, ma'am.
Yes, dear.
Yes, ma'am. The next turn goes with Jayalakshmi and Akshay Saroshini. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. So, greetings for the day, respected guest of honor, coordinator, ma'am, and my dear fellow mates. So, this paper is presented to you by Akshay Sarojini, and Jayalakshmi. So, the topic is language learning teaching through digital media a boon or bane? So, yeah, this is definitely a boon to each and every one of us. Digital media is now playing a major role in the education sector too, as we all know. As COVID pandemic was the worst of its kind ever, and when the doors of education institutes were shut, but this digital platform made people at ease to connect with their teachers, especially the students. So, yeah, the next thing is connecting with the dear ones. Days were there when people were just waiting to see the faces of their dear ones when it was like over the seas. They were not able to talk, they were not able to see the face. They used to wait for years. But this made us to see face to face, made us to feel more comfortable. It fulfilled our happiness and love. So next, moving on to the objectives. Yeah, Jayalakshmi. Okay, so we here consider four main objectives. That is to study the influence of digital media in language learning, to study which age group uses digital media for language learning, to bring out what people think about using digital media for language learning, and to fortify digital media is a boon to language learning. So these were the main categories we focused on our research study. Now I pass on to Jayalakshmi.
A very good morning to everyone. Now, for our study, we had so many reviews of literature. We took 5 papers and reviewed it, but for time's sake, I am skipping these reviews and I am presenting on the data collection process of our study. So the population size of our survey was 60, and an online survey was taken irrespective of age group. But from the age group, from the data we collected, we came to a conclusion that the people from the age group of 20 to 25 use digital media a lot in their language learning. And our questionnaire had two sections, one containing questions that were of learning perspectives, and another section containing questions of teaching perspective. And coming to the conclusion part, we are concluding digital media as a boon. Now, from our survey, we didn't just focus on the online mode of teaching, like Gmeet and Zoom Meet and learning through these meets and things. But we ask questions on what are the sources of dire digital learning, and there were so many responses like podcasts, websites, and then videos, and so many. Many prefer videos and blogs, and it was the age group of 20 to 25 that use digital media a lot for language learning. And we are concluding digital media is a boon in language learning as it serves for all the age groups. It's cost effective and for various other reasons. Uh, uh, many of the responses gave us that digital media learning gives added benefits like it can teach you an accent. You can't get an accent if you want to speak an American accent, or if you want to speak in a British accent. I can't really get it from the people that I'm surrounded with, because people there are not really native English people. But when through videos and so many things, I can interact, or I can listen to native people, so I can get the accent. So these are the added benefits that people get from digital mode of learning. And from the perspective of teaching, people have mutual impression in the initial stages of language teaching through digital media. That is content making. Teachers think it is the content making part that is actually the struggle. But in delivering the things, delivering their content, teachers are satisfied with the efficiency of the delivered content making phase, because only when you put so much of creativity into the content making phase, you can make the class interactive, or else it is going to be boring. So to make that, you have to concentrate a lot on content making. So language learning is both to language learners and to teachers. In delivering and in making classes interactive, it is really a boon. But in the content making stage, they struggle. That's what we are concluding. Thank you.
Very good. It is excellent here. Akshay, Sarojini, and Jayalakshmi really made an amazing presentation here. Okay, a small question for you guys. Okay, you told me that along with the 20 to 25 age group of students, they can easily coordinate with the online learning, and it is kind of easier for them to get connected toward the education part. Am I right? So here I have a question like the students of distant education, they are doing their studies. Okay, the 40 to 45 age or above the 35 above age. Am I right? So like us, they will not be connected towards the digital media. Am I right? So we are now emerging here, and we know how to use the mobile phone, how to use the Google Meet, and everything we might know according to the generation. But in the age of the 40, 45, when they're doing the digital education, here, even the distance education students or the participants above the age of 40 or 45, so how they might feel? Do you think it is kind of advantage the pandemic situation? Because the pandemic situation, it is kind of stuck with everybody, not with the 20 to 25 students, even for also the age of 40 to 45, the distant education, the students also, it is kind of shut. Am I right? So what is your opinion for the distance education students, and according to using the digital media and learning and the learning part? Could you please tell me?
Ma'am, yeah. So this is definitely a positive impact for them, because there are days when they won't be able to go for schools. Like there are various reasons they had discontinued their educations, and there are other things also. But though it is a pandemic or it is not a pandemic, this platform has helped them to reach the doors of education institutions through digital platform. So this is definitely a positive impact for them. Yeah, there may be some disadvantages like connectivity or monetary things, but it has more higher impacts of positivity
Very good.
than
negative things.
Very good, Akshaya. Yes, this is the platform that during the pandemic, even for that age group students or the digital education, the participants, they might get to know learn about the how to use the media, how to use the digital. So they might it is kind of learning impact for the both way. In first the education part, doing the education like MSc, BS or MS, whatever the course they're doing it, and second part, how to use the media, how to use the digital. Okay, in a good way. Okay, so very good, Akshaya. Very good answer. Really, the same answer I expect from you, and you did the same. Good, excellent, dear. And really, I appreciate
Thank
Akshaya and
you.
Jayalakshmi for their extraordinary presentation. Yes. Moving to the next presenter. Yes. Who is this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So the next turn goes with Minhaji Firdaus and Sajan Ganapati.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yes,
Yes, ma'am,
dear.
one second.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Share your ideas, dear.
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am, 1 minute. Okay. Good morning to all and all present here. And the topic we chose is student psychology in digital world. And in our paper, we talked about several topics. One is the main thing, like the digital world in this era, how the digital world is being in students' life and all. And we also discussed about students' mentality in that digital world, how students are behaving in that, and how students are handling the digital world, and how digital world is impacting in their life. And we also did a little literature survey just to get more knowledge about that. Rather than, we also collected data from our peer groups, just to make sure we are not supposed to see only student side and only teacher side. And we also discussed among the student teachers who are all the upcoming teachers, and we concluded the idea with their ideas, and we also the part from our literature surveys, ma'am. And about digital world, a digital world is something which is used to communicate, to share information, but using some digital devices, as we are connected through. And it is just using the platforms of digital things to communicate. We use some of the devices like mobile phones and laptops, and now there are so many applications uh, to be communicated. And the public first introduced the digital mode in 1969. Some of the not some of the many of the researchers are stated that students are using, not only students, children started using mobile phones, and they also started communicating through online. And they are spending an average of 2 to 6 hours just for their entertainment, not for educational purpose or just to gain the knowledge. Just for entertainment purpose, they are spending 2 to 6 hours in the laptops or mobile phones, whatever may be. In their school times, they are spending 8 hours during the pandemic time, and they are spending 8 hours of screen time for their education. um, in addition to that, they are spending also extra times for that entertainment, it seems. In fact, COVID pushed us to be in online, like we have to be in online, we want to study in online, and that situation made that online and using mobile phones, that devices and applications, or nowadays became one of the mandatory part in children's life. And they have turned into it's the mandatory thing. Early morning getting up, just for not for brushing, they didn't do brush, and they'll take mobile phones, and they used to see mobiles. And that important, these devices and the social media became nowadays. And in the perspectives of students mentality, Sajan will continue about that.
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes. We can hear you.
Yeah. So the students mentality. So as my senior Minhaj Akka told before, so I'll be explaining from here. So the students mentality in an online education mode, so we could see that most of the students are learning through a computer based mode. So most of the writings they do it in word format. Most of the presentation they do it in a PPT format, like I'm doing now. And the drawing classes, the arts classes, everything goes through the online computer based mode. So when the student comes out of the online class and goes to an offline class, they start facing difficulties like how to write in a notebook. So for example, if for my case itself, my whole 12th went in online mode. So I my assignments, my notes on classes went through through word documents. So I use a less writing mode. So even the exams I wrote was basically in online base. So I used to choose the correct option. So that was the way we went to in 12th. So when I came to college, so it was a sudden change. So in college we had offline classes. So when we came to offline classes, I started facing difficulties in even small letter writing. So letter writings, I started thinking like my handwriting isn't good, my spellings are becoming bad. So these are the difficulties we start facing. So the students also the psychology of the students starts changing, like why can't they keep online based mode. So so in Pondicherry itself, when I was in 12th, the Pondicherry University started keeping offline classes. Then students started making a huge protest that they wanted online based mode. They wanted they have been more habitized in online based, so they started wanting 100% online based and not a total offline based. So these are the things students mentality started changing. And then yeah, so when we started having these things, when we started analyzing these things, we wanted to take some surveys. So a better way to take survey is to as it's a education based, so we need both a student and a teacher's point of view. So we can't go around asking the student, or we can't disturb a professor. So what we did was we just went to a student teacher base. So we went to B.Ed students, so our batchmates. So we started collecting the data through them, and some of the data we have already posted in the presentation in the paper we have. I'll be trying to play one such thing.
Yes.
Just a second. So it's about their difficulties, their boons and bans they faced.
So yeah, I'm just going to talk about the disadvantages of online classes
Okay.
during my time. So basically, the online classes, it required more timing as compared to the regular campus timing. So it wasn't that
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. Yes, Ma. Yes, start the presentation. Yeah, sure. Okay, okay. Yes, Hari's, how many presenters are they? Ma Bharati, Abhita, and
Sharmila and Harini,
okay,
Amirutta and Amrita Varshini, Soumya.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, dear, okay. Yes, yes, Ma Bharati, yes. Yes, Shajan has to say something. Yes, Sergeant, just tell me.
Actually, Soumya is facing difficulties in connecting to the class.
Okay.
She has some technical issues.
Okay, okay, let's wait. Maybe if possible, she can present, or else let us disable what we have to do. Yes, very good. Thanks for informing us. Yes, very good. Thanks for informing us. Yes, Sergeant. Left. Okay. Yes, let us move to the next presenter. Then maybe let us connect with the Uma Bharati later. Yes, who is next?
Yes, we can go with Sharmila and Harini, ma'am.
Yes, Shamla and Harini.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, dear.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. So I'm Harni and my friend Shamla. We have done this presentation. Our topic is student psychology in digital world as and first introduction is in recent decades there was an increasing impact on the technical department and development. People or students are not much involved in the digital. Students have practiced in the traditional way of learning even without digital.
Yes, Harini. Maybe if you can't share your view, share your presentation is not an issue, dear. You share your ideas by words. It's always welcome. Harini. She in the class. Notice. Sorry, ma'am. Okay. Okay, Pita. Harini, are you there in the class? If she's not here. No. Okay. I think maybe we will move on to some other person. Maybe if she comes, maybe there may be some network issues. I hope so. Right. Yes. Uma Bharati
Yes.
would like to share your ideas. Uma? Yes, Pity, just go ahead, Uma. Yes. Sergeant. Yes, Sergeant, just tell me.
Harni is also facing some technical issues on her side.
Harini also. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, who is next? And the presenter is trying
Next,
to, yes, presenter is kindly try to just limit out your presenting time because it's gonna be uploaded in the YouTube. So it is too far. It will be difficult for us to upload it, right? So just try to limit your the views. Okay. Yes. So if you can't,
Ma'am,
so if
I'm
you can't,
audible, ma'am.
it's not an issue. Okay, it is not an issue. Just try to just say it by words. It will be helpful for you. Yeah, great. Yes, Abhita would like to share your ideas. Yes, Abhita, go ahead. Abhita? No, we couldn't hear you at all. Yes, it's echoing. Okay, everybody just mute your mic.
Ma'am, I'm audible.
yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Oh, okay, ma'am. And Huma Bharati is also facing some difficulties, so she couldn't able to join.
Okay, ma'am. You can start.
Okay, ma'am.
Good morning to all our present here, and thank you for this opportunity to be a part of this conference, ma'am. Without delay, let me begin my presentation. Um, So, our topic is his language learning and teaching through digital media, Boon or Ban. Of course, we have seen a detailed explanation previously given by our guest as well. I'm a bit confused with whether we to take Boon or Ban because both are balancing each other with their own qualities of both Boon and Ban. In all facets of society have been altered by the developments of digital technology over the past few decades. So, education has been implemented and conceptualized significantly as the evaluation of digital media. Initially, students taking ownership rather than teacher-centered strategies, and the impact of digital technology go merely teachers more resources. Next is impact on digital media. Of course, the both the social medias and digital technologies are becoming essential components in our daily life. Every person over the age of almost 13 have an account in social media platforms. Are engaged in digital technology. It is inaccurate to say that in the contemporary world, social media and education go hand in hand. The communication and the collaboration, finding concrete information online, and involvement of the parents as well. Improvement in the literacy, communication. In this way, learning through digital media takes place. Second language is not only the beneficial but necessary for successful in life. And what to say, language is not something to stay over time, and it changes in the region's culture and the way of life do. And this technology and used for education and communication purpose, students experience with this media platforms and how they influence learning English. So why I took specifically English is that knowing the English increases your chance of getting a job in multinational company and in our own country or finding work abroad. And language of international communication, the media and the internet. Learning English is important for socializing and entertainment as well as work. So English is not only a spoken language, but in the world, and it is an official language over 53 countries, spoken around 400 million people across the globe. So not only communicate with the native English speakers, but also common second language. So I specifically I took English as an my paper research, and in the 21st century, knowing the second language is not only the beneficial but a necessary one to success in our life. So the frequent, as a result of world's economic ongoing globalization, the internet have collapsed the barrier distance of once kept the world communities. And second language include the improved academic performance and improved cognitive growth and improved attitudes towards the other language and culture. Language acquisition is essentially for students to succeed in contemporary and global economy. The next is English language through digital media. Uh, One of the word like EFL. EFL is English as a foreign language. So the growing importance of English language can also be seen, and it is employed in the educational sectors. So as a result, new language policies have been introduced by governments, like for example in Saudi government, required that all the students at the high and intermediate school levels study the English language on the contemporary basis. And the majority of Arab schools now teach English language. As a result, this made the already existing challenges process of communication influence in English. So having a determinantly effects on the students' capacity to finish their education. As an example, e-learning process. That how we do, and introduced at the intermediate and the high school levels because of this perspective. So the Ministry of Education is an extra resource for learning English as a second language, and English proficiency is helpful for success in the variety of areas, so such as politics and economy as well. And mainly focused on LSRW, that is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So digital media for listening is, of course, I've done survey work over 50 students. So students have agreed that various standards and using of these platforms like YouTube, Netflix, and etc., the which helpful in them to improve their listening skills, and widespread use of this repetition and usability. These platforms is justified in doing so. To increase our listening skills, we can employ digital audiobooks. Recently, one of my friends used to say that also she was too sloth beer, so to read books. So she's what to say, confirm that I'm very helpful in listening, and recently after the release of Ponniyin Selvan movie, so she wanted to hear the what to say story of Ponniyin Selvan. So she go with the online audiobooks. So it is listening as a podcast through radio or various other platforms. So high level of agreement on the usage of digital technology suggests that these tools can help in becoming a better listener as well. And digital media for speaking, the majority of students endorsed the statement that they engage with the native speakers through dedicated learning websites and develop their speaking skills. So one of the online platforms, even we are engaged in the online platform like Gmeet, Zoom, Skype, and etc. to practice our speaking. This increase our pronunciation tools and in other aspects of our speaking abilities. And digital media for reading, using of ebooks especially. So this ebooks improve our students for reading abilities, and reading online periodicals like newspapers and articles. So digital tool like there are various tools like Newsella and many other news apps which improve our reading skills and reasonable level overall. And digital media for writing. Students use digital games and chat rooms to practice writing in English. So Grammarly, even I too use Grammarly, which is very helpful in checking our grammar. So in writing and other collaborative works. So it helps as a tool. Next is digital media for vocabulary. The e-dictionaries and e-books, which is used to learn new terms and pick up new words. So games like crossword puzzles and which are helpful in finding new words. So as a teacher, also use technology widely to teach and improve students in all aspects of listening, learning, what to say, reading, writing, and vocabulary as well. So next is both teachers and students use digital technologies. The great example is COVID-19. During the pandemic crisis, teachers and students are left with no choice except to adopt digital technology for online learning. So COVID-19, where 67 percentage of students use have been the first experience with online teaching, and the 25 percentage of had some experience. Only 6 percentage have extensive experience on online teaching. Around 3% of their school had not switched to online and distance learning still now. And particularly, this was the period when an online way of teaching and learning has spread wide across the world. Um, also that to develop their skills in various aspects of students understanding and importance of especially language learning. Next is the overall my conclusion is language learning and learning through the digital media is a boon. The focus on which the EFL teachers and students use digital tools for both teaching and learning, as well as how digitally literate they are, because without knowing anything we can't do anything, right? So EFL teachers and students provide the fatal proof of the involvement of digital tools have made to a language teaching and learning. So researchers have discovered that the use of digital what to say technology have a good effect on people's speaking abilities and employment in the computer software program to access people's mistakes. So students do not have any digital natives, but teachers have more experience using technology than students do, because from to get info resources or to know any information. And there's utilization of digital tools like interactive whiteboards. There is a gap between students and teachers as well. So go against those. We conclude that the teachers and the students differ significantly in their use of digital technologies, for especially for pedagogy. So I conclude my presentation with language teaching and learning through digital media is more boon. And thank you.
Yes, very good to hear this amazing presentation. Really, you have shared so many good views.
Thank you, ma'am.
Abhida, please mute yourself here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mute, mute. Yeah, okay. I'm really sorry, Dave, because it's echoing from my side. So I couldn't tell you what is the point. Okay, really amazing the point that you have made, that every point you have made. Okay, so what are the ways that we can do it? And especially you have done with the English parts. Okay, to English, how we can impact so many things to LSRW, like what other apps are they? And like, yes, I have a question for you, dear. Here, you told me that there are so many digital things we can just we can go with it, proceed with it to learn English. Am I right? For listening and vocabulary improvement, we have apps and games and we have puzzles and so on, right? Good. It's appreciable. It's okay. And fine. Have you ever think that these media and these things are it's good rather than that we are learning the traditional way of with the teacher? Have you ever think, because here when you're going with the apps and all and with, apps and puzzles and games and all, and you will not require any teachers. Okay, you will discover on your own and you will learn new things. Am I right? So as the same thing, and you will learning towards the teacher and digital classrooms. Am I right? So have you ever think, so what is the difference between those things? Can we replace from the teacher towards the digital media for learn LSRW, and how far it is effective? And how to, if yes, you have to say and why. Okay, how if yes and how it is effective, and if no and why. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, that is absolutely a perfect question. Like, I'm not saying totally to use the only digital medias and media platforms and not a guide. Of course, we need a guide as well. So, without guide, we can't do anything. These media platforms and apps and games are with for like one small example is, without knowing ABCD, we can't learn any word. So without a proper basement with what a grammar, of course, for example, what is mean by noun, what is mean by verb. So without knowing a proper basement of grammar, structure, or the learning basements, we can't use others apps and games, and we can't know anything. So of course, uh, uh, what to say is, offline classes on the teachers mode plays a main role. So after that, teachers only these apps and games would evolve our world. So
It's
first
really
of
good.
all,
Good.
I focus on first the teachers and their guidance. After that, only the usage of other platforms and apps.
Very good. Amazing point of view, Abhida. Extraordinary. And your points are valid. One's amazing and extraordinary one. Okay, let us move on to next presenter. Who is the last presenter who has to proceed? Anybody?
Yes,
Yes.
we can go with Amrita and Amrita Varshini.
Yes, dear. Yeah. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, ma'am, let me start with my words, ma'am.
Yes, dear, yes. Go ahead, no problem.
Okay, one of the results of technology development over education is changing learning environment, changes in learning environment today. The development of remote learning and advancement in technology are remodeling and redefining in different ways to make fit the modern digital learners need. And one among us gadgets equipped educational environment, which is the topic of my paper. The simple gadgets we used was projectors, smart boards, smart tables, phones, tablets, laptops, and etc. Um, I brought out two examples for this gadget-equipped educational environment in my paper. The first one is Language Lab, a room designed for learning foreign languages and equipped with tape recorders, video cassettes recorders, or computers connected to monitoring devices, enabling the instructor to listen and speak to the student individually or as a group. And the equipments which are used in language lab or master console, microprocessor, and student unit, conference room, etc. I gave the detailed definition of all these equipments in my paper. And as my major is English, I also mentioned English language lab, where the components used there was software, audio and video facilities, headsets, and provided for students and teachers for conversation. There are also benefits and disadvantages in language labs also. It is easily operatable with the help of a facilitator, and the student can learn by individual, whereas it is also very difficult to set up, and it is not a easy job to set a language lab. It need high economic background. And the second gadgets equipped environment example is VR classrooms, virtual reality classrooms that allow students to experience and explore in virtual environment. It is actually an emerging technology to supplement the teaching of a particular topic in order to feel the content. Virtual classrooms has two types, synchronous and asynchronous. Asynchronous allows learner to learn on their own schedule, whereas synchronous has some online schedules over the gadgets. So the gadgets used in VR classrooms are Oculus Quest 2 controllers, gunstock pistol and rifle, Asterion Aura Universal Illuminated VR stand and USB-A charger port, Skywind VR tripod stat compatible with Steam VR base station 2.0 version. For all these gadgets, I gave a detailed definition in paperwork. And the important is a Kiwi VR link cable which connects all the gadgets over VR equipments. VR classrooms also has advantages and disadvantages. Advantages like where student can feel and learn the content. Disadvantages is as language lab it is expensive, and sometimes it became addiction, and there is a complexity over the student's mind while feeling the some objects. For all apart, as technology development, the teacher also need to develop in their methodology of teaching, right? Technology will never replace great teachers, but in the hands of great teacher, it is transformational. Teachers need to integrate technology seamlessly into the curriculum instead of viewing it as an add-on. One of that methodology is gamification, where it is emerging nowadays, making games over phones, online, and making students to learn through games. And as everyone said, e-learning, online contents, and online classrooms, etc. There are also advantages and disadvantages over learning through gadgets, where students become addiction towards gadgets, but it is easily accompanied and available in all the places, sources, where students can learn in any situation. That's all my paper consists of. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am,
Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
unmute yourself, ma'am.
Sorry. Okay, really is amazing external presentation here. Have a one question for you. Okay, you told me that there are so many things advantage, disadvantage of using the
Yes, ma'am.
technology and learning things, right? So, what is the physical difficulties you might found? Because if we are sitting in a place, maybe we might find some difficulties. Okay, not only physical, we feel the mental difficulties. So, what is the physical and mental difficulties you were found when you are dealing with digital learning?
So while dealing with digital living, we will interact only with the gadgets, not with real persons. We cannot share our experience or feelings with others, which we ourselves predict to ourselves, and that is the major distract. I think so. The mental health of student will get somewhat difficult because he has no ways to express through. It is always a humans are best way to express, right, than the gadgets. That is the major thing, ma'am.
Excellent, dear. Yes, the thing is, okay, if we are just sharing, if you are in an offline class, we meet so many persons. For example, we are connecting over here, and Abhita has some other view, and Amrita has some other view, Akshaya has some other view, and Likita has some other view. Okay, everybody has their individualization. Okay, so if you're in an offline class, we get to know, we can share everyone's point of view, and we can come out with the good decisions. We come out with the good results. But if
Yes,
you're in the
ma'am.
online classes, but we are tend to think on our own. We couldn't ask for it because our teacher will let us to share our opinion because they will be focused on teaching their part. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Only in some cases they will let us to share their our points. By the way, so our brain will not be widened. Am I right? So our
Yes, ma'am.
will not be widened. So we will be
Yes,
in
ma'am.
only in the same thing. What are the things? What are the infos we get to know? Only we will view. We will see our world in that way, or to see
Yes, ma'am.
the topics in that way. So there will not be discussion. There will not be widened point on getting the results. Okay, this is the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good, Amrita.
Yes,
Amazing
ma'am.
point. Good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Keep rocking all the time. Yes.
Thank you,
And who
ma'am.
is next? Yes, dear. Who is next to share?
Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Uma. Yes, Uma. Yes, you're audible. Go ahead, sweetie.
Ma'am, I shall do with the audio presentation and I'll share
No
my
problem.
PowerPoint in the WhatsApp group, ma'am.
Sure, dear, no issue. Just share
Yes,
my words. You're always
yes.
welcome.
Good morning to everyone who are present here. And I'm going to share my own views about the topic is language teaching and learning through digital media as Boon or Bane is the topic given. And I have chosen the topic Bane. And as everyone discussed that digital media has many um, it provides many information and give it helps more people to survive in the world. It has and it also has some other difficulties and so that what I am going to discuss in this paper. And I have said first I have said about the education which had during the corona and which had been before corona and which is after corona. And online education played a very important role during the corona period, and even it has very significant role before the this period. And it started to rule over the world only after this corona period, as everyone has asked to shut down their everything in their own home. And then the online education is nothing but it is full of media, and it should go ahead with the only the people those who are within the home and not with interacting with the people those who are outside the world. But the internet made the way to interact with those people also with the outside the world, but with through the online mode. And the Indian educational community has enthusiastically and meticulously adopted this system. And despite all the disasters it has caused, COVID 19 has served as a catalyst for writing a completely new chapter in the history of education. And it won't be overstating things in the least to say that 3,600 changes have occurred in both teachers and children's lives. It has made a great change in the change in both for the teachers and the students' life. And then I have gone through and I have mentioned the education during pre-corona, how the education was during sorry was before corona. Before the corona period, the education system was totally typical and it was static, and everything in the classroom, including the blackboard, textbooks, notebooks, everything, evaluation and assignments were same. And the students studied by doing learning method. They have started to learn by doing method, and then they have moved to the system of playing and learning method. They started to learn their things by playing and then learning. But after that, the students have stopped, but by playing, doing and everything, they have just moved on to sit and listen to the those lectures what they have given by the teachers. And it made the students to down up their own memory power, and they have psychologically affected. And I have brought a survey through this paper that how a how a parent and the children and the teacher suffers a lot through this digital media language teaching. And after that, I have brought education during corona. Education during corona was totally different, where the devices has changed, that teaching aids were changed into one. Before corona, the teaching aids were chalk, blackboard, everything. But during corona, it has brought to projectors, smart boards, everything. And then after educational scenario of post corona, after the corona, the education system was totally changed. It has been brought up into computer based learning. It has only web assisted methods of e-learning, use the internet, websites, telecommunication, radio, video recording, etc., to carry out various tasks like giving lectures, giving out study materials and assignments. And then I have just had what I have already said, that I have made a survey with the teacher's point of view. And teacher trainee, it's not more than the teacher. I have just went through the teacher trainee who is younger generations like us, though, how she is facing a difficulty on teaching through digital media for children. And then understanding the teacher's point of view, we can help with the practical concerns relating to the use of technology in education, and can help with understanding how their behaviors are influenced by their ideas. And my own a friend of named Sahasra, who has faced a lot of challenges while she went to teacher training program. She faced a lot of challenges to teach language, even English language, through ICT tool. She made many efforts to teach them, but the students who had backward classes and the students from the government schools have faced many difficulties, and they have faced more challenges to overcome the to learn the language. And then she points out that the rapport between the teachers and the students would be affected, hence the efficiency of learning and teaching would be drastically affected. And she said that the government schools in India still lack basic facilities, so technology or digital teaching cannot be implemented in those. Learning English include proper environment, lively classes, and interactive sessions. When we start to learn a new language, we need a proper environment source, and the students must be taken to a proper place to start to speak their own language. If the students with the among the children, they'll start to learn and speak the languages. And then at last, I have asked the parents' view also. The parent, more than the student, the teacher suffers a lot, as the student is not able to get a proper job in their own life. reading this English language through digital media. And then same Vignesh mother, she's none other than she's my own mother. How she faced the difficulty, she said me that as of I am in college, I also faced a lot of difficulties through this digital media. See, now also I faced a lot of difficulty to join the meet and to share my own experience. So through education and language teaching through digital media is a boon. Maybe it's a maybe it's a boon, but it's a more or less it's a ban for some of the people as of from the backward classes and the poor people. And I finally conclude that the most harmful impact of online education was the continual use of screens and the mobile phones. Obviously, there is a lack of communication gap. India is fast becoming digitalized, but it has not yet fully taken root. Even though India is developing digitally, but India is not yet to fully give up the digital learning to all the people, those who are from the backward classes also. And then classes with no face-to-face interaction are more lecture focused than discussion focused. And the leading psychologists claim that senior pupils have experienced anxiety and feelings of confusion as a result of both the college application procedure and the online way of examination. Due to the students frequently lose enthusiasm, quickly burn out, and become physically exhausted. And the government school should be facilitated by teaching digital teaching and learning. And I just request all the people and the government to make some more efforts to bring out the government schools and the backward people and the rural areas to overcome this problem, that the way of teaching through digital media language should also go properly taught to those people also through digital media. And thank you, ma'am.
Good, good, very good, Uma. That's really amazing extra because you have undergone so many points, but everyone can a good view of yours. Very, very good. Yes, you told me that in a government schools they are not, the students couldn't get a good exposure of the learning part. It's really acceptable. By the way, I have to tell you one thing. In the government school during the COVID situation, what they have did, they have started they have started new channel in the name of Kalvi. Am I right? By the way, they have learned so many topics every day, like the teaching in things, they teaching in online. Likewise, and they will do a program on the teaching. Okay, the students, the teachers have been invited to the channel and they will record a video how they have submitted. Am I right? And it will be for the so many students, they have checked and they have learned so many things. And by the way, and nowadays, and the televisions is providing, it's a free of cost by the government. So we can accept, it is acceptable. So every home, they may not have a smartphone, but they do have television. Am I right? By the way, and they have a telecaster. They do have the free services of the Kalvi channel, and they can get into it and they can learn it. Okay. So by the way, so to the channel, because they have updating so many topics from the books. Am I right? So what is the positive and negative impact we can find through the channel, Kalvi channel, because it is provided by the government. So obviously it might be good one because the teachers, they might teaching so many topics over there. So what might be the positive, negative impact on it? Could you please tell me?
Yes, ma'am. And through this Kalvi channel, yeah, I also know this. My brother also studied in the government school, so he's also
Very good.
so he also went through this. And
Very good.
what he used to say is he feels that there is no interaction between the teacher and the student. The teacher continuously speak. She can't able to know that whether the students got the point or not. She's continuously teaching and she finally finishes. But the interaction between the student and the teacher is missing there. So we
Very
cannot
good.
do that. And then the positive point when we go that is we can able to interact the students bring the attention of the students easily, as we show some of the proper items. And if the television, through the television or some of the mobile phones, the students may attracted easily while seeing the images of the pictures and the voice tone of the teachers, they may attract easily. But what is the negative thing is the interaction is missing there, and the understanding of the student is not there. The teacher may teach properly, but the level of the students may be low to bring upon their own knowledge. They, if they were on offline classes, they'll know that if the teachers start speaking, they'll just raise the hands and they'll ask the questions, and the teacher may know that they'll if understand or not. But through one way of communication, we cannot be able to know what the students has been gone through the lesson.
Very good, Umabad. It is really nice view. Okay, so from this we can teach them, but to the app. But the thing is, like here we are doing an online interaction with one to another. We know okay what is my idea and what is your idea. We are sharing towards this. Okay, so we can do it by but in the channel to we couldn't have proper interactions. So the teacher may not know whether the students has understood the concept. Maybe they can conduct the exams also. By the way, it could be that the proper result. Maybe they can look into any mobiles or to their parents. So with the help of any other gadgets or any other help, and they can write the exams and they can score good marks. By the way, it won't judgment of the understanding of the students. Am I right? Very good, Uma. Amazing. Anybody left out to present?
Thank you.
But this much of the points I can get it from you all. It is amazing and it's really extraordinary presentation this you have done, everybody. Yes, it is time to share your feedback. By the way, we will get to know what are the things we can update ourselves. Really, yes, you can share your. Yes, Sajid, really, always his initiative, really happy. Yes, Sajid, go ahead.
So, ma'am, you wanted my feedback.
Yes.
So, actually, this is a very great opportunity for us to know about the different ideas of others who are in a student area. So, it is also a very interesting way to see that how others feel about the online education on the same topic as us. So, online how they feel about the positive and negativities of us, and also the the solutions they give, the solutions they have. So we could also develop our own how to develop our solutions, and also how to be attentive in our own classes. So these are helpful for us, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Very good. Yeah. Thanks a lot for your very good feedback, valid feedback. Yes, could you please tell me in a voice note? It will be very helpful for us. By the way, texting us in a text. Could you please, everybody? Yes, Likita, could you please share your feedback? So, what is your opinion about our presentation, about the conference?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this opportunity. So, in this, while giving this paper presentation, we have realized that different views of online learning, and each one of us have our own views. Some have felt that they like online learning, and some they felt it's a ban. So, during this, we realized what are the problems we faced and what are the benefits we are getting from online learning.
Okay.
So this helped.
Jayalakshmi? Jayalakshmi, could you please respond? Just please unmute yourself and speak, dear.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Kana. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So first of all, thanks for the opportunity because it is our first time to attend a conference, and this place was actually so really friendly. It there was no intimidating vibes that would set us back, and we'd like to thank you for this opportunity, and we are just really happy that we had a chance to hear others' thoughts. Thank you.
It's very good. Did hear you at all? Okay, everyone. Really, it's kind and really happy to be part of it. Really, to conduct this event and make this event successful because of with your support, and this event made it very successful.
Bryce, I would like to share my screen. Just a minute. So I hope nobody has any guess because I haven't mentioned it earlier. Let me show you all. So here is our book which we're going to publish, including all our paperwork and everything, and my appreciations to everyone for contributing themselves in this book. And yes, ma'am, can you please repeat that?
Yes, Hari, could you please mute yourself here
Yes,
because it's
Hari, could you
clear
please mute yourself here because it's clear.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really sorry. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So, I'm here to present you all the vote of thanks and delight to deliver another amazing quote here. With God, all things are possible. Yes, that's what we learned today. So, my first gratitude to the Almighty is K. SunandaSriraman for making this conference as our coordinator, Mrs. J. Shanmathi ma'am, is being pillar of
Okay, everybody. Okay, it is time to wind up ourselves. Okay, and there will be update on this kind of checkout group. Okay, we will update everything in that. Okay, bye everyone, and meet you in the next conference. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.